Good evening and welcome to the WABC News. I'm Ashley Summers. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we will look at the hopeful rain forecast for the valley, but first we will examine a new style of learning going on at some of our local schools. Now to Tiffany Smith for more on that.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Goodwin. Please tell us, what is case-based learning? Case-based learning is a style of learning where the student is immersed into a case situation that requires critical thinking and analysis in order to resolve the case. Case-based learning stimulates discussion among students. Students review the case information individually, then work collaboratively with their peers utilizing skills such as communication, critical thinking, creativity, self-learning, collaborative learning, and literacy of IT and other resources. Students learn how to respect the different opinions of others by exposing students to multiple viewpoints and allowing them to see how others are impacted by different decisions. So what is the role of the teacher in this style of learning? The teacher is the facilitator of information. The teacher is not there to give the students the answer, but rather to direct the students in the right direction through questioning, suggesting and encouraging learning. What kind of responsibility does this put on the students? The student is the one who researches the information and makes decisions on what is best for the case situation. Students work individually and together to discuss the information, participate in learning activities, and partake in healthy debates of the topic. Is there a process that the students must follow while working to solve the case situation? Once the case situation is presented, students must decide where they should begin. Individually, they will research the topic, decipher what sources are reliable, and put together information to present to their peers. Collaboratively, students will work together to discuss the topic along with the additional information researched. Students will participate in various learning activities, such as presentations and debates with the class. This allows students to share their own thoughts, hear the opinions of others, and make connections between the situation and their own lives. This sounds like a drastic change from the traditional classroom. What kind of obstacles do teachers and students have to face while transitioning to this new form of learning and teaching? For students, obstacles to overcome include adjusting to the new form of instruction. Students are used to teachers being the main source of information. Traditional forms of learning do not require much critical thinking from students. In case-based learning, students have to learn how to think outside of the box, how to effectively collaborate with their peers, and how to take responsibility for their own learning. For our teachers, the obstacles are a little different. Traditionally, teachers are lecturing at the front of the classroom while students listen. In case-based learning, teachers are no longer front and center. They have to learn how to transition to being the guide on the side. There is a fine line between telling students too much information or not giving them enough. Thank you, Mrs. Goodwin, for taking the time to tell us about case-based learning. Let's take a look at some more information on the topic with Sam Stewart, who is in the WABC conference room.
Thank you, Tiffany. Changes brought on by the 21st century have made it necessary to adjust the way students learn in the classroom. More classrooms are switching over to partnering or collaborative learning. Scott Perry is here from Acer High School to tell us more about collaborative learning. Thanks, Sam. Collaborative learning is a method of teaching and learning in which students team together to explore a significant question or create a meaningful project. Collaborative learning is effective because learning is fundamentally a social activity. We often learn best by building our knowledge, understanding, and skills through working with other people. Research has indicated that collaborative educational experiences that are active, social, contextual, engaging, and student-only leads to deeper learning. In case-based learning, students are working together to resolve a case situation. While they are individually responsible for their own work, they are assessed as a whole. Working in small groups enables students to share strengths and also develop their weaker skills. They are learning to develop their interpersonal skills and deal with conflict. When cooperative groups are guided by clear objectives, students engage in numerous activities that improve their understanding of subjects explored. Case-based learning is just one form of this learning style. It is being used in colleges across the world. However, we are beginning to see it incorporated more in early forms of education. Thank you, Scott. Now back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Tiffany and Sam. It sounds like the educational system is making great changes. Let's take a look at some advantages and disadvantages to this style of learning.
Advantages. Active learning methods appeal to students. It motivates students to engage with the material. There is a deeper level of learning. Students retain more of the material they do than material they simply read, hear, or see. Disadvantages. It is time-consuming, so other topics might go untaught. Teacher preparation is time-consuming, more so than in traditional lectures. Students may need time to master the method, so early attempts can feel unsuccessful. Faculty also may need time to master the method, again, so early attempts may feel unsuccessful. There is less faculty control.
Studies show that students who approach their studies in this way can better retain and more information. They can also readily apply the material that they have learned to similar situations. Moreover, students who engage in case-based learning have an increased ability to integrate knowledge from different sources and generally acquire better reasoning skills. We trust that you will find this approach stimulating, and we encourage educators to accept the challenge. For WABC News, I'm Ashley Summers. Please stay tuned for the weather. Have a great evening.